Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you something. Jaron, Ennis, and Stanionis. I see people out here flip-flopping right now. Some people, and I'm shocked to see it, who are thinking that Jaron Ennis will just destroy Stanionis. Now they're saying, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. I'm not so sure he destroys him, but we think he beats him. But I think it's only smart for a person who expects Jaron Ennis to go in there and knock Stanionis out in the first round. I think it's only right that you pump your brakes and say, well, hold on, let me reassess what's about to take place this weekend. Now, I understand Jaron Ennis, 33 wins, 1 no contest, 29 knockouts, right? When you look at that record, it's very, very attractive. And you look at the fact that he's going up, man, facing a guy who has 15 wins, 1 no contest, 9 KOs. When you just put the records up against each other, it's no comparison. It's no comparison. But I'm telling you, you got to look at who they fought. And between both fighters, Stanionis has fought the most difficult fighter out of all of them. He fought Butiev. Butiev would have beat Chikadzian, in my opinion. Butiev would have beat Eimantis. Butiev would have beat Roman Villa. And Stanionis went, life and death with him, but he was able to edge it out. Now, Butiev fights a different fight as far as his style than Jaron Ennis. But it doesn't matter because Jaron Ennis is exuding confidence. And when I see a fighter like that, that tells me that he knows he left no stone unturned in training camp. And he's more than ready to take on, in my opinion, the battle-tested Eimantis Stanionis. There's a bit of an issue here, though, because Stanionis has been a bit inactive. So the question is, with Stanionis' inactivity, just having a child, and although he has faced, I think, the best opponent between the two. The question really is Stanionis going to be able to pull this off? Because the inactivity and having a child, I just don't know how focused he could have been in training camp. But he's a disciplined guy. He's an ex-Olympian, so he should be locked in. But with Jaron Ennis, I just think everyone right now is just saying, hey, after Ennis becomes the unified welterweight champion, what's he going to do next? When you look at his record, man, people are going to sit there and tell you Jaron Ennis is a unique talent. But it's more than just talent, more than just athleticism. He understands the stakes are high. He understands what it's like to be inactive, to having promotional struggles, to not be on the A side. You know what I'm saying? To kind of be in the breeze. Eddie Hearn came along and picked him up. And Eddie Hearn, although a lot of people had gripes about Eddie Hearn and having Boots fight Eimantis and Chikadzian again, the bottom line is Eddie Hearn eventually got him a unification. He was trying to get him something with Norman Jr. Some people agree about the money Eddie was giving Norman Jr. Some people disagree. We know the Normans didn't agree. But the bottom line is Eddie Hearn, whatever he tells a fighter he's going to do, he tries his best to deliver on the deal. And you can see that he was able to deliver a unification for Jaron Boots Ennis. My thing is he going to be able to pick up the next 2 titles? Now, when you look at the skills of Jaron Boots Ennis, I'm just telling you, man, I hear people comparing Boots to Mayweather. I don't think you can do that. Mayweather was a different animal. He wasn't into the showboating. Mayweather wasn't into the dancing and doing all the flamboyant shit in the ring. Mayweather was strictly business, just like EPMD. Now, as far as taking Boots Ennis and comparing him to a Roy Jones Jr., I think that's a little more fair, a little more comparable. Because the boxing brilliance Boots has shown in the ring, it's kind of there with Roy Jones Jr. Now, I'm not saying he is as dominant, as athletic, but no, what I'm talking about is just the way he conducts himself in the ring when he's in his groove and he's enjoying himself. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Roy Jones Jr. I don't think I've seen Roy Jones Jr. really switch stances though, the way Jaron Ennis can switch stances. But I have seen them both, in real time, make the right reads. You know what I'm saying? Like Jaron Ennis can make the right reads. He can counter you. He can find the openings. He can exploit them, and he can make you pay. But this is where I'm looking at Stanionis, and I'm like, if Stanionis is watching this and with like the laser-like accuracy that Jaron has, Stanionis has got to be somewhat concerned because once Jaron Ennis locks in and gets in his rhythm, and he starts letting his hands go, more times than not, fights come to an end because there's something special about Jaron Ennis, hence why he's exuding so much confidence going into this fight. Now, we talk about IQ, man. Look, as mentioned, man, Ennis' ability to download information, it's like Terrence Crawford. You see some guys in the ring, they get in there. First round may be a little shaky, second round be a little interesting, but by the end of the second round, third round, they've downloaded the data, made the adjustments, and then they start to have things their way. And that's exactly what you see happening with Jaron Ennis. Top tier IQ, and I just think for Stanionis, although he's got IQ and he's going to come to scrap, I just think the whole Mexican style thing and how the Mexican style is going to break down the black style of fighting. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think you're going to have to be able to apply some intelligence behind just being a free swinging brawler, which is what Stanionis is. But Stanionis, again, he's got some IQ. He's got some levels to his game. The skill set is there. But I think when you look at it, I think Jaron Ennis edges him out. But we got to wait and see how it all plays out. Now, power. I just think you got to get a power edge to Ennis. Now, durability. I don't know. I kind of want to say Stanionis, but the bottom line is Stanionis is going to have to be durable because he's going to get hit plenty. And the thing is, Boots isn't going to have to find him. Stanionis is going to be right there, pressure fighting, and what he says, the Mexican style, and he's going to try to somehow break Jaron Ennis down and definitely go to the body with that signature left hook of his. But, I mean, come on, man. When you got a guy like Jaron Ennis who, out of 33 fights, got 29, 30 knockouts or whatever, no matter who you fight, there's got to be some power there. You don't just get a stoppage fighting all tomato cans. Even Deontay Wilder, as much people said he didn't have power, he just fighting tomato cans. He knocked Fury's ass out, okay? And then he knocked Hellenius out, and then he got in there with Parker, just never gave himself a chance. When he fought Zhang, he did land a couple of shots on Zhang. One in particular hurt Zhang. So the Wilder power is real. And I think we're going to find out this weekend just how real Jaron Ennis power is. But I already know. I'm going off what Chikadzian said. Chikadzian seems to me to be a straight shooter. He said Boots can crack. He said he hits hard. Makes you wonder how many years Boots took off of Chikadzian, the way Chikadzian stood up to Jaron Ennis, trying to get to the finish line. Same thing with what's his name, Evanesian. Makes you wonder how many years were taken off of him. And then Roman Villa. I think we know some years were taken off him because Roman Villa returned and just didn't look the same. So fighting Jaron Ennis, I think, can ruin your career. Let's hope that doesn't happen to Stanionis. Hopefully he can bounce back and keep fighting and get some big wins. But I'm just looking at what's happened. I just think it's all bad. That being said, when it comes to the mental warfare, a guy like Jaron Ennis, he got more experience, man, and Stanionis as a professional fighter. Okay, that matters. I think Jaron Ennis has experienced some things in the ring that maybe Stanionis has not. But one thing for sure is Jaron Ennis has had more fights. He's more active. He's in I'd say more of a tougher gym with some seriously high expectations. And I think it's all going to show when they get in the ring this weekend. But Stanionis isn't going to come lay down. He's going to fight. But the bottom line, man, who has the edge going into the fight? Who has the confidence? Who has the upper hand? I don't know, man. You just take a look at the betting odds. Everything's in favor of Jaron Ennis. So he has the confidence, but most people are already picking him to win the fight. And he should have all the confidence in the world. IQ, power, speed, conditioning, the amount of fights he's had, how things have been so one-sided, getting in the ring and just almost playing with fighters because they can't hurt him. He's going to come into this fight with Stanionis firing on all cylinders. The thing is, the Stanionis has to find a way to hurt Jaron Ennis. If he does not, you're going to see Jaron Ennis with his hands down, playing around, having fun, because he's going to say, shit, this dude can't hurt me. And he's going to treat Stanionis the same way he treated Villa, same way he treated Vanessian, the same way he treated Chikadzian in that second fight. Treat them like clowns and get them out of there. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Jaron Boots has the Ennis. Jaron Boots has the Ennis. Jaron Ennis has the confidence. Jaron Boots Ennis has the glow. And let's see if he's going to get in there and Bruce Leroy Stanionis' ass up out the ring. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.